Hello. Let me tell you about a 3-year bachelor program in international business. International business gives you a broad understanding of business administration and strategy in a global context. You learn how companies analyze and adapt to complex opportunities and risks when they do business internationally. But what does that actually mean? Well, imagine that you're part of managing a large company that does business in many countries and markets. What would be some of the challenges that you would need to be constantly mindful of? Well, for starters, you would need to consider how costs and prices fluctuate, or how markets fluctuate. Maybe these changes mean that one market becomes less profitable while another develops in a more positive way. In addition, your market strategy may need to be different from one market to another. It could be competing on price in one market and on quality or sustainability in another. You would also need to consider risks. Maybe some markets are safer and more predictable than others. Political instability, conflict, or even war could be major potential risk factors. So could the risks of reduced purchasing power in some markets, or difficulties in developing solid local partnerships, or the risk of some markets simply becoming too difficult to compete in. Certainly, you would also need to consider your global supply chain. Are your products going to be made in one place and then shipped all over the world? Or are they going to be produced in your local markets? Or maybe different parts are going to be produced in different countries and then assembled elsewhere. And how are you going to organize your company? Are you going to have subsidiaries in most of your markets? Or are you primarily going to work together with local agents or partners? Are all important decisions going to be made in one corporate headquarters? Or is the decision process going to be more local and decentralized? And how are you going to finance all your activities? Is your finance and investment strategy going to be cautious, or are you going to take bigger risks in order to maybe make bigger gains? And of course, you need to control that you're using your resources efficiently and that you live up to the banking and accounting regulations in all the different countries where you operate. Also, how about the image and reputation of your company? Here, for example, it's becoming increasingly important to think about things like sustainability, climate, corporate social responsibility, and human rights. You don't want to find your company in a shitstorm, and also you want to be able to go to sleep at night with a clean conscience. These are just a few examples. We could have talked about many more, such as technology and product development, consumer relations, big data, political regulation, and. The point is this: running one small company in one country, focusing on one market, can be challenging enough. Running a large international company and dealing with economic, political, and cultural challenges across borders and markets is extremely complex. To handle all these concerns and considerations, international and global companies need strong business strategies. Indeed, they need to constantly develop, implement, and manage these strategies to adapt to global changes and stay relevant in the marketplace. And that is what international business is all about. International business strategy. What then are the topics you will work with on international business? First of all, there is a business part. On international business, you will receive a broad introduction to business administration. You will learn about topics such as accounting, marketing, finance, supply chains, organization, and of course, business strategy to give you a broad understanding of how companies are operated and managed. On top of the business courses, you will learn about international markets, international economics, international business considerations, regulation and globalization to give you an understanding of the global and international context that businesses operate in and the ever-changing conditions to which they must adapt and renew their strategies. In addition, You will learn about research methods that give you an understanding of how to use, create, and evaluate knowledge in order to make business decisions based on actual knowledge rather than guesswork. On the fifth of the 6 semesters, you study elective courses which you choose yourself. The 5th semester is also where you have the opportunity to go on exchange and study abroad at one of the 300 or so CBS partner universities. Most IB students choose to go on exchange, but you also have the choice of staying in Copenhagen and doing your electives at CBS. Now you know something about the aim of the International Business Program, what you will be working with and why. But what will the program demand of you? And what is it a good idea to consider before you apply? I'll tell you about all that in the second video.